And boom! This is episode 38 of Escape the J Curve, and I am your host, Rohan Nag. Another day, another episode. Today, I am in conversation with Arunav Gupta from Delhi, and he is a power player. At the age of 14, he wanted to be a zookeeper. Then he studied to become a chef, and now he runs one of the biggest and most prominent dating companies in India. It was a fascinating episode today. We talk about lots of things like mindsets, internet marketing, digital marketing, email lists, dating, and so much more. There is a lot of value to be had from this episode, so tune in and we will see you on the other side. Hey Arunav, can you hear me?
Yeah, hey Rohan, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic, buddy. How are you?
I'm good, buddy. Can you hear me properly?
Absolutely, it's loud and clear, crystal clear.
All right, perfect, man. So let's start.
Absolutely. Welcome to Escape the J Curve, and I'm very thankful that you finally managed to have the time to get on the show. Thank you so
Thanks a
much.
lot. Thanks a lot. I hope you're doing well, buddy. And first of all, I'd like to congratulate for your new podcast series.
Yeah.
And I heard a couple of episodes, and they're really value offering, man. I would like to say. Secondly, it's an honor to be here, man. And thank you for letting me on your platform.
Absolutely. And I think we have a lot of common people that we know on the show already. So it's going to be a good continuation of similar thoughts and ideas.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true.
All right. Fantastic. So the first thing that we want to know is a little bit of introduction, a background about you. Where are you from?
Sure.
What are you about? And what do you do, so that we can get started?
Sure, man. So my name is Arunav, and I'm the founder of The Brothing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, The Brothing is the first company that we started in India, which deals with improving men's dating life. All right.
Okay.
And I was not actually a dating coach before this. Funny enough, so I did my education from Singapore.
Yeah.
And before that, I was born and brought up in India, in Delhi.
Yeah.
It's been an amazing ride, man, because it was something really new to the market, something which is against the social conditioning, and definitely polarizing a bit.
Yeah.
But so it was an awesome, and it was a gradual decision. It was not something which I wanted to do since I was young. So it was a decision based on things that were happening, and like a lot of dynamic events, basically.
Wait, so you wanted to be a dating coach from very young, is it?
No. That's what I'm saying. I never wanted to be a dating coach.
Wanted. I'm sorry.
I had no clue I was going to be a dating coach, man.
Yeah. You started to be a chef, if I remember correctly.
True. So basically, when I was 17, my family is into the restaurant business, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I was 17, they wanted me to do hotel management so that I can, come back and, finally run the family business.
Yeah.
And I as a kid, I wanted to be a zookeeper when I was a kid. I really loved animals.
Okay. Interesting. I wouldn't have thought that about you, that you wanted to be a zookeeper growing up. Very interesting.
Yeah, man. So, but my parents always said that animals don't pay you anything, and I was like, yeah. And a dog bit me when I was probably like 16, so I was just very afraid of animals. I really loved animals, I still do, but I just can't be really close to them. So after that, my whole goals changed, and I didn't know what I want to do. So at that time, my parents told me, have a settled path for your life. Just go to Singapore, do your education, come back, and just grow the family business. So that's what I was gonna do. And I went to Singapore, and in Singapore, before that, I was also into a relationship, and that relationship ended actually pretty badly before going to Singapore. So when I was probably 14 to 17, I was dating this one girl.
Okay.
And it ended kind of badly. Like I was completely in love, and I was, all I could dream of was just being with her, and from my side, it was very serious, but from her side, it was not so much. And that was the transition when, I decided, okay, I want to learn something about female psychology. I want to know what I did wrong in the previous relationship so I don't repeat the same mistakes again, right? And that's how I came across, the Art of Cold Approach Pickup, which we teach in the Bro Thing in our live programs.
Okay.
Right? It's another perspective towards dating. Like, you don't really have to go through the social circles, through meeting, a person, through a common group. It's basically just going out and approaching people, learning about body language, reading body language, learning about how to talk to people, learning about how to present yourself, right? So I was learning all of that in Singapore and doing my hospitality. And I came back to India after 3 years. I was also in a relationship in Singapore too. Pretty good relationship actually, but it ended because obviously there was a lot of distance.
Yeah.
I came back and I realized, I was working, and then I started working as a chef. So because initially I wanted to do a job so I know more about food, right? Because food is one of the major aspects of the restaurant business.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know about food, and I, started working as a chef. I worked for about 6 months, and that's when I decided I don't really want to work in the kitchen. I want to be managing now. I think it's time I leave my job and I start managing it, right? My restaurant, whatever my family had at that time.
Okay.
So I went back, I stayed back at home, and I started working in the restaurant. I started managing the restaurant, and I grew it. Definitely, we opened another club, right? And it was one of the first of its kind in the city I live in. Like, it's just nearby Delhi. It's Faridabad. So it was running pretty good. But the problem was, I didn't have a social life, and it was not something which I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Right? I did not even think it through when I was a kid, to be very honest. So
nobody does, man.
Yeah. And at the age of 21, I realized this is I can do this for some time, but I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. And not only because the work hours are like 16 to 12 hours, right? If it's your own thing, you need to be there all the time. And not only because of the work hours, right? I can take the work hours, but the problem was there was no social life. I used to get, my leaves on Tuesday, right? Which is pretty pathetic. To, like all the people, they get their offs on Sunday, Saturday, right? Weekends.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any concept of weekends in my life. Like all the time I could get was probably like I finished my work at like 12 a.m. So I can go up to meet my friend, and I can just meet them for like about half an hour, 1 hour, and then come back. A lot of facilities, right? A lot of facilities at that time, but like life was not good at that time for me personally. So I did it for 3 years, man. And after 3 years, I realized
you've been running your restaurant, and managing your restaurant.
Yeah, running it and managing it, everything, right?
Okay, yeah.
For 3 years, and we grew it. We added another part to it. And after 3 years, I decided, this is not how I want to live my life, and it's time I make a transition. And funny enough, the decision was not entirely my own decision of making the transition. I wanted to basically, help people, right? Learn about, how to get good in their dating with their dating skills, right? And as a kid, when I was 17, there was no one to guide me, and specifically at that time, which I think we were in a forum together, if you remember.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? Yeah.
So I think around that time is when I realized, okay, there are not many people doing it, and definitely not many people coaching it in India. So that was one of the reasons, right? Because there was no one teaching, and the ones that were there online, right? They were not teaching the raw thing. They were very filtered.
Okay.
So that's when I thought, it's like, if I don't do it, who will? It was sort of that feeling at that time. And that's when we started the Bro Thing. So that's how we started the Bro Thing, because I helped someone, and we had 4 founders. So we had 4 founders. I helped someone, improve his dating life. And this was another guy who approached me from the forum itself. And we gelled up pretty well. And, we went out together, I taught him my skills. And it was about a good 6 months, his training went on. And that's when he told me that, hey man, I have this amazing idea that I always wanted to start and I want you to head it. And that was the bro thing. So at that time, like our mission was simple. It was just, go to different cities, talk about the art of cold approach, right? We were really passionate about it, both of us, actually all four of us, to be honest, and talk about, cold approach pickup and teach people about that, and we went to Bangalore when we had seminars in Delhi. And at that time I was just 22, man.
Yeah.
So we had seminars in Delhi, we had seminars in Bangalore, in Mumbai, and it was one hell of a ride.
I can imagine, man. So lots to unpack there, what you said. So from trying to become a zookeeper to a chef to a restaurant manager to a coach.
The zookeeper was
quite an origin story.
The zookeeper when I was 14, man. It was just a kid's dream, I guess.
I know, and I had so many dreams. Like I wanted to be in the army, I wanted to be an actor, I wanted to play sports. This is all around 10, 12, 13, 14, and look at what I'm doing now. So I can totally imagine. So tell me something, was it the reason that you started Bro Thing was that there were not enough dating coaches in India, or there was something deeper, something else that also bothered you?
I was always trying to basically guide my 17-year-old self, right? So the people out there don't make the same mistakes that I did.
Yeah.
Right. I've made a lot of mistakes. So, if I can learn from them, take lessons and just share them with the community, I mean, that's something I would want to do. And my major reason to start the Bro Thing and to start working in the Bro Thing was I was really passionate about it. I was really passionate about it. In the first year, I remember, man, we were doing boot camps, right? And boot camps is a life training program. And now the boot camps are basically very expensive. They're the most expensive personality development course that we have, right? And at that time, the boot camp was really cheap. So I was spending my own money to do these live programs, right? Spending my own money, which I was earning through my restaurant, through my clubs. And I was spending my own money. That's how passionate I was about it. And after 1 year, I realized, this is not the right way to go with this, right? This is not the right way to do it. Because if I'm spending my own money, till how long will I be able to, spend my own money? I would probably lose interest, right? And initially, man, even during the live programs, it was so cheap that, we had to travel, 3 people had to travel to different cities to give live programs. And it was so cheap that we could not even cover the travel expenses for 3 people at that time, which was 3 years back. And we just wanted to go to different places, meet new people. And that was, the whole idea behind it. We never wanted it to be something, from which we earn a livelihood. We never want, all 4 of us, we never wanted it to be something which we're doing for money. This was always about passion and, helping the community, giving back to the community. Yeah.
Awesome. So tell me something. So one of the things that I find most interesting about a personal journey in which you change as a person, you shed your old beliefs, you change your mindsets, you change the way you look at the world and a lot of other things. So going from a chef to a dating coach, what old mindsets and beliefs and things that aren't true that you had to drop and relearn? What were the mind change shifts that you had essentially?
The biggest mindset shift was, dating is, it's not frowned upon, but definitely, in the Indian culture, as you know, right? It's kind of tough to go against the social conditioning and do something which is out of the ordinary.
Absolutely.
Right? So definitely there was a lot of societal pressure, I would say. And it helped me acquire a bulletproof mindset. I don't care about what people think about me. I don't care about external validation. Right? And that really helped me in my life as well. So now I do what I want to do, right? And I perform I perform the best in what I want to do rather than doing things that I don't want to do, right? And apart from that, man, some mindset. So I'll tell you the story, how I shifted my mindset to become a dating coach. Initially, I was not about it. So basically, so after coming back to India, I started dating another girl, right? And we were dating for about 1 year, and we started living in together. And that's when basically I caught her cheating on me, all right? And that was it had been happened before with me, so it was not a big shock. But we were in a living together, and at that time I realized, like I'm at the same position where I was when I was 16, right? And
so nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed. I've learned so much, but nothing has changed. My outcome is still the same. And that's when I realized, man, it's actually a thing Dr. Joe Marcella says in the book Repeatlessness. So E plus R is equal to O, right? Whatever the event is plus your response is equal to the outcome. So my response to the event, which was when I was in a relationship, probably my responses were in a way where, it gave me a certain outcome, right? And I'm not a guy who's going to blame her for anything. I'm a guy who's going to take the responsibility for, each and everything that happens in my life, right?
Yeah.
So once that happened, I realized, okay, I actually want to dive deeper in it, and maybe there's something I'm missing, right? And I completely, that's when I started thinking about it. Okay, I want to do this professionally because I really want to dive deeper in it. I really want to learn about psychology, how the human mind functions, why people do what they do, and how to read people as well, right? And that was one of the main objectives. And in that transitional phase, when I got cheated upon, and the reason was also because I was working so hard. I told you, like, Tuesdays off and 16 hours of working hours. So maybe that was the reason, okay? And I realized this is not what I want with my life, right? And even that is not what I want with my life. I want to learn about this, so I'll solely focus on this. And that's when I received, if people, listeners, know about this guy called Mystery, right? He's the guy who invented the book. He's the guy on whom the book is written, The Game.
Yeah.
Right. So if people know the guy Mystery, he messaged me on Facebook, telling me that they're kind of hosting an event where they're inviting coaches from around the world. And this was back when the Pro Thing had just started, right? Just started.
Wow.
We were still doing the Pro Thing. And he messaged me and he said that he wants me to come to Europe, right? And he was that we're making a team of the best coaches in the world. And at that time I was just amazed, man. I didn't have any infields. I didn't have any hidden camera footage to explain how I do my stuff, right? All I had was sharing my lessons in the forums, and from that I got the offer. So that when I got the offer, that's when I realized there's a true potential in me related to this field. Because if the person who has invented this field, not dating, but the cold approach pickup, if the person who has invented this field is messaging me, he wants me on his team, then definitely I'm doing something right.
Yeah, that was amazing, man.
Yeah.
Totally mind-blowing, yeah.
And I went to Europe. Can't talk much about that, but I went to Europe, and being there with a lot of instructors from all around the world, I realized that the skill level I have, I kind of looked, I'd never compared it to anyone else. But when being there, I realized, okay, the skill level I have, I can really help people, right? And I was really helpful to the other companies as well. Like, I was doing an internship over there. So pretty amazing, man. Like, going to Europe was a good experience. And when I was coming back, so basically I had hired 4 interns at that time. And, 2 of my interns had left their jobs and they just wanted to do it passionately. And there was no money involved at that time, right?
Okay.
So
yeah.
These guys have, quit their jobs. They've moved to Delhi, and, I'm in Europe and I'm talking to them. And that's when I realized, okay, if people are believing in me so much, why am I not believing in myself, right? And I should, take control at this point of time. And I knew I was going to face a lot of societal pressure if I, shut down my restaurant.
Yeah.
People are going to judge me, right? This guy went abroad, he did his education, he could not really enhance the business or something like that, right? That's what the society thinks. Now, when I came back, funny enough, I did have a lot of parental pressure as well. But I decided at that point of time, I have to follow my dreams, and no one else is going to do this for me. So I moved out of my house, I took a new house, and that was the start of, the Bro Thing at that time. Like, that was when we were all really focused.
Fantastic, man. So if I can summarize it into 1 or 2 sentences, the pain of not having changed, being the same person, that pushed you into learning more about women's psychology, and you decided that teaching other people would be the best way for yourself to learn as well. You can gain the experience, and
the thing is, if you're just motivated by pain, right?
Yeah.
You become really negative,
Mm-hmm.
in the long run. So it's very important to analyze and reassess your beliefs, right? So if I was just motivated by pain, I don't want to be toxic, right? And if a lot of people are, who are learning about this, a lot of people are, and the reason is because you have to reanalyze and you have to reassess your beliefs from time to time, right? You emotionally mature as a person. I can't look at like my last relationship, like from a 21-year-old's perspective, right? My perspective has changed, my emotional maturity has changed. So pain is a good driving factor initially, right? But as soon as you can get out of it, and then make it into inspiration, that's actually a lot better. So pain is initially it's good, but in the long run it will do more harm to you than good.
Totally agree. So there's a saying called "get better, not bitter," and that's exactly what you did, right?
True, man.
And then you managed to overcome one of the biggest problems holding Indians back, which is "log kya kahenge" syndrome, and you overcame that as well.
True, man. That has been like one of the major takeaways for me, following my journey. Because people, even if you do the thing that the society wants you to do, there's still going to be people who want to say, stuff about you. So it's much better to follow your dreams, and don't give up. A lot of people give up, man. I mean, so I've basically, with the bro thing, I've also given a lot of contracts to, the upcoming guys, right? And with that, I realized that people, they don't have the willpower. Most guys, most millennials, maybe not millennials, 19 to 22 people, right? They don't have the guts to go against their parents, and that's disheartening at the same time, because you have to understand you can't disrespect your parents. There's no need to disrespect them, but you have to understand, the belief system that they have is a belief system of the past, right? And times change, and with times you've got to change.
Yeah.
So if at that time you're like, okay, I'll do whatever mommy says that I'll do, then you won't be happy in the long run. So it's always better to hold yourself accountable for whatever you are doing in your life.
And you won't get better, or you won't get good at what you do. You need to put in a lot of effort to
comfort zone. Yeah.
Absolutely. So tell me something. So you're saying that mindset or being worried about other people or what other people think is the biggest challenge that your students face?
So definitely, man, that is one of the biggest challenges. Then there's approach anxiety, definitely the biggest challenge. And people have similar issues. Most of the people have similar issues, but some clients have issues which are, different. So mind is like, what would people say, right? What would people say is the biggest thing that people think when they're approaching a girl, when they're approaching the woman they want to talk to, right? But no one else is going to do it for you. So if you're just going to be stuck in that, what would people think? And you don't even know a lot of people who are just, traveling around you. So what's the point of thinking so much? And obviously you should not think about what the people would think about you. Like you should be still considerate, right? How people think and like what are their beliefs and all. But don't make it a limitation for yourself, and always respect other people's beliefs is, what I feel is the right way to go about it.
Do you have any exercise or any strategies for people who are really afraid, like they have really low self-esteem and they're overly concerned about what others think about them? Do you have any strategies or steps?
We do have a lot of strategies, we use in the live programs, but definitely that's in the live program that we, make them do activities in front of us that releases them off their social pressure, and stops them from thinking that what are people around me gonna think. Like we make them talk to us when we're like really far, so that they're way louder and everyone can listen to them, so that they have a few eyeballs on them, they feel the social pressure and they know how to go against the resistance, right? That is one of the activities. Then we have an activity where we tell the person to get a rose for a woman, right? If he's too much in the head, if he's thinking too much, then we tell him to do that, right? It completely depends on the client to client. And if you have that issue, there's different things help different people, right? And certain people, we tell them to focus on the breathing and just focus on the next step. What is the next step when you're out there, right? When you're out there, you want to improve your dating life, you want to work on your dating life. What is the next step? You approach someone, you talk to someone. That is the next step. So always think about the next step, focus on your breathing. And when you're when you're in when you're outside, when you're trying to work on your dating life, right? When you're trying to approach people, when you're trying to talk to people, even networking, right? At that time, you should not think too much. At that time, you should be just calm, right? You should be in the flow. Once you come back, definitely break down, what happened, like where did you go wrong, all that, and improve with every approach that you do.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Makes
that is
sense.
one thing that we tell them to do. Even if you approach, say, 100 people, right? You want to just be 1% better than before, right? Be more engaging, be a better communicator, be a better listener. So that's all there is.
So, Arunav, you are sort of acting as mentors to your students, right? They look up to you.
Yes.
Did you have any mentors on your own when you learned about this stuff, and then when you started your own business
Definitely.
around it? So,
Definitely.
okay.
So once I came back from Europe, Matt Artisan.
Yeah.
So I got signed with the Attractive Man LLC, right? And I've been learning a lot of business processes from them as well. And really humble person and really nice team. And apart from that, man, in my life I always had mentors, like for different stuff. Like when I was in Singapore, I had another mentor who used to teach me about like how to dress up, how to be more fashionable, how to show more authority, right, when you're talking to people and all that. And it's very important to have mentors, because mentors have actually spent a lot of time doing the thing that you want to do or you want to reach, right, to the goal. And it's very easier for them to see the mistakes that you're making and just tell you. And if you focus on those mistakes, if you're like, okay, I want to see my own mistakes, then it's probably going to take you 2 to 3 years for the same thing a mentor can teach you in a day, right? And it's amazing to have mentors, man. So I've had a lot of mentors, man, actually. So I don't know which one should I talk about, to be honest. And when I came back, like even some of my friends mentored me.
Awesome. So, what would be the best way to find a mentor, according to you? For example, if you want to say, improve your finances, or improve your dating life, or improve whatever, like you want to start a new business.
First, you need to understand what issue you are facing. All right. Okay. First, you need to understand what issue you're facing, and whether it's dating, whether it's business, whether it's finances, personal finance stuff.
Yeah.
Whether you want to be spiritual, right? Whatever issues you're facing, whatever goals you want to reach, you need to know where you want to reach, and then you need to find a person who has reached there. And the easiest way to find a person who has reached there is online, right? You can see people online. You can see YouTube or DIY videos. You can see people on influencers on Instagram. You can see people everywhere. But how do you select a quality person, right? Through his testimonials. Mentors through testimonials. And I see a lot of people also trying to get a mentor. I'll just work for him for free, and that is not the right approach. The reason is because, see, a mentor does not need people to work for him for free, right? And if you have that approach towards life, you don't want to invest in yourself, then whatever he's going to teach you, you're not going to be invested in that either.
Yeah,
right.
Totally true. Yeah.
So that is one thing I learned, because I had a mentor who was mentoring me for free, and I knew, man, I was not paying attention. I knew I didn't care about his time. Now I want his time. He lives in Europe, all right. And I went to Europe. I met him, and now I do want his time. But now obviously we both don't have time enough to spend that time with each other. And back in Singapore, he was definitely a good coach. He taught me a lot of different things that helped me with my mindset. So it's always important to value your mentor's time, the person you have chosen to mentor you, and be very analytical, careful to pick the mentor very carefully. Just see the reviews. If you want reference links, tell them that you want to talk to the person who has given them the review, right? There's no problem in if a mentor is honest, if he has given results to people would love to talk about it as well. So keep an eye out for that in the market, in whatever stream it is.
So two very important things. I mean, there's something about money, man. Like when you get something for free, your mind just doesn't engage. But when you put your money down, you want that ROI. You want that result. Exactly. You want to make the most out of whatever money you have put into the effort. Your RAS just switches on, man. That's very important. And another thing that slightly contradicts your idea of look for testimonials, and we know there are a lot of fake coaches around these days and things like that. So my strategy these days is to go for LinkedIn. So for example, if I want to start an e-commerce venture, I look for people who are e-commerce entrepreneurs and not necessarily mentors or coaches. They are just building their life, they're just building their business. And I message them, what can I offer them? Nothing. Like, I can only take them out for lunch or something like that. And I try to keep their time investment minimum, saying that I know you're busy. I just need half an hour of your time every month. That's it. And all, we can go for lunch. Lunch is on me, and we can discuss these things. And that's another way that it might, people might look at finding mentors.
True, man. That's actually a good way. So, like, one of the major things was when I found mentors, they were people I looked up to, in my life. So if I was working in Singapore, right, there was this person who I looked up to. He had $1 million business. So at that time, I just spoke, and he was, a friend of a friend. So I spoke to him, hey man, why don't we sit down, we talk, and I'll he was a good friend as well. So you don't need to go online necessarily. You can also find people in your workplace, people you look up to, and you can just talk to them. Give them something of value, exchange value. Never think of leeching anything. Just think of it like you said, take them out on a good dinner maybe once a while, and just, maybe then you can sit and talk, right? And that's actually a good gesture. So that's something good. And I would also suggest, whatever you do in your professional life, you might have one person that you look up to. Okay, this is the person who's on the epitome of his game or whatever, right? And I want to talk to him. So just approach him, just email him, just text him, do anything, right? Reach out. And most people fail to reach out, right? This is the failure that most people, they're like, oh, I can't talk to him. Maybe he's like this in real life. Maybe he's like that. Maybe he's too arrogant. I don't know. Maybe he asks for more money, right? And like, those are the issues people are facing. So until and unless you reach out, you don't know the person.
Absolutely. And which is not true as well. People do want to help. For example, if you got really good at something, there's no point in not teaching it to someone else, right? So people do want to help others. So
True, man. That's true.
So Arunav, one of the key things that I study very closely, and I am a keen student of, is probably internet marketing. And I noticed that you are quite savvy internet marketer. I have subscribed for a lot of your email lists and things like that, to see your copy and how the emails are coming in and how you write your long form sales pages and things like that. And I'm quite impressed. So how important is marketing, and to be specific, internet marketing? So say that somebody has an idea, or somebody wants to be a coach in anything, be it dating, be it financial things, be it other things. Maybe that person is a great chef, but he wants to start a coaching business. So how important do you think internet marketing or marketing is for those people to get their ideas across?
See, internet marketing is like the lifeline of coaching business, I would say. All right. And you can't delegate your lifeline, right? So if you delegate internet marketing, what happens is you don't get the results that you want, right? And most of the people who do internet marketing, they might be good, but it's not what you want your brand to project. Right? So that's one thing. I realized that, okay, in the long run, I have to learn internet marketing. And when I started, I had no clue, man. Like, I had no clue of making a website or just even writing down an email. To be honest, my whole focus was on finance, hospitality. So like, I had no clue. And over the period of time, I would say I learned a lot from just looking around, seeing people, what they're doing, and just getting my own ideas, right? Also getting my ideas and then formulating my ideas and just executing, man. So one thing, a lot of people, personally, I also have failed in this. So one thing is consistency and mass production of good quality content. It's not just any quality content, right? So now we have started this. Now we have a new team. So we're pretty excited about that. And like, if you check out the YouTube channel, the Bro Thing, right, there'll be a lot of new content that would be coming up. So now we have actually started this. But earlier, like, even the website that I've created is, I personally learned how to create a website within like 2 weeks, and I used the operating software, whatever. and within 1 week I created the website. So it's not my best work. I'm still learning it. Like I'm still learning, but it's really important. Internet marketing is one of the really important things. If you want to get some eyeballs, you want to transform your passion to your, to make some money for you, right? And if you don't know about internet marketing, you are losing out. And the more time you lose, the later your success is, the curve is going to be. So it's very important to just focus on it as soon as you can, and take massive action while you do it. Like, don't think, okay, what is he going to think? What are other people are going to think? I'm going to post this. I used to think a lot of that, man. So
Really?
Yeah, I was actually, so I was in a relationship for 4 years of my life, and that's one of the reasons I never released any of my in-field hidden camera footage on YouTube for the longest period of time, which I could have done 3 years back, right? And I did it. At the end of the day, I did it, and definitely I was kind of thinking, man, like, can I put this out? What are people going to think? And then, like, over the period of time, I realized it does not matter what people are going to think, right? Because everything that you're going to teach, you're going to have people who love it, and then you're going to have people who hate it. No matter who you are. No matter who you are, you can be the sweetest person, and there'll be people who hate you as well. So it doesn't matter. That's the world we live in, and we should aim at what we want to give to the world. Right, we should provide value to the world, and if you're providing value to the world, there can be many haters, right? But it feels good, man. Like when you provide value to the world, right, the world gives you value back. So it's a two-way street, basically.
Absolutely, I totally agree with that, and I sort of identify with your situation as well. So when I started this podcast, although I didn't have a problem with what people will think, what I was worried about, do I have enough to say? Will my content matter? Will I run out of things to say after, say, episode 5? What will I do next? So that sort of put me off for, I think, about a couple of months. So I was deciding to launch it in March.
Put me off 1 year. It put me off 1 year. So I can totally understand, man. Like it goes on with everyone, right? We're so stuck with this social conditioning, specifically in India, man. It's way worse in India than some of the other countries. And there's numerous reasons. I don't want to talk about the numerous reasons, go into details of social conditioning, right? But as an Indian guy, there's a lot of social conditioning, and going against the social conditioning is kind of it builds an emotional muscle, right? And you need it in entrepreneurship as well. Like, because you in entrepreneurship, you got to take executive decisions sometimes. You're going against people at that time. You want to do what's best for the company, not exactly for the people, but you're doing best for the company, and doing best for the company, you're doing best for the people. So, you have to take executive decisions, and it's a mental muscle that grows over time, I would say.
Absolutely. So let's come back to internet marketing for another bit, because there's one more thing that I want to capture. So I think I know some of the biggest dating coaches in India, and to be honest, their internet marketing sucks. And so they have WhatsApp groups and they market through that. But they're very bad at capturing cold leads and then turning them into a business opportunity. So there are multiple things to online marketing, obviously. Social media, Facebook ads, copywriting, websites, email lists, and things like that. I particularly admire the way you have set up your automated emails and email list. So I think I'm subscribed to one of your lists. So can you give us some strategies or tips on how to set up your email list properly? Especially, I think I think Facebook ads is off for dating content, right? You cannot create Facebook ads.
We can.
Okay. Yeah.
The reason why we're not doing ads right now is, we might do it once the whole pandemic ends, because obviously live programs can't be held right now. Right. So that is one of the major reasons we're not doing ads right now. But we did ads in the middle, and we were doing ads before, and not for a long time. We were just testing it. So we might test in the next month. But if you want to, a good idea of internet marketing, I would say you drive the traffic. All right. So consider YouTube, consider, say, Instagram, even podcast as your traffic sources. So you drive the traffic to your funnel, and your funnel is your website or your funnel. Right? So it can be either. It can be a sales funnel, it can be a website. For me, I personally had both. So I had a website as well as a sales funnel, and we integrated the sales funnel within the website. Now the difference is in the sales funnel you can do upsells, you can do automations, right? You can track progress easily. And with the website, it's a bit harder. It's a bit more complex to edit, I would say, for a person who's not tech savvy, right? But funnel, you have a lot of tools these days. So funnels, you can learn the tools. Obviously, if you are using the tools, it's more expensive. So only if you're making a certain amount of money, I would suggest you shift to funnels. Or maybe if you learn the different tools which are less expensive but more complicated, you can still make funnels.
And like lead pages or click funnels, whatever you
like lead pages and click funnels, right? So once you have created your funnel, right, once you know what you want to teach, you have created your funnel, and at that time you have an opt-in over there. So people come in from your Instagram, from your YouTube, from your Twitter, from your podcast over there, and you just enter your email ID, and you're there, right? You get the inside information or whatever information, lead magnet. So you have to give them something for free, right? Something valuable for free. Now for the broking, for the people who are listening this, we give a lot of there's a step-by-step email that we give, if you've seen that, right? We teach people step-by-step how to get good with dating, how to improve their dating life, how to go out, approach more people. So if listeners want to actually check it out, and you want to know more about the secret society of pickup in India, I would highly recommend you check that out. All you need to go to the brothing.com. It will give you a good idea about funnels as well, like what is exactly a funnel, right? Go to the brothing.com, put in your email ID over there, and you will get a good idea of how the email marketing works as well, how we build the relationship with our customers, from the initial emails, and what kind of headlines we use. It should be catchy, and what kind of headlines get opened and all that, right? So it's very vast, man, internet marketing. Actually, I've been doing this for 6 months, and it's huge.
It's huge. So it's important to, I think, drill down on one area and go deep into it before mastering other areas. True. Just wanted to unpack the idea of funnels for the beginners, basically. So a funnel is a series of steps that somebody who doesn't know you, they find your message or your product or your service online. How do you convert them into a warm lead so that they get to know you, they get to know what you're about, what your product is about, and then slowly move them into probably to make a buying decision for you. That's what a funnel does. And lead page and click funnels are one of those tools where you can build the funnels. So lead page is pretty cheap. I think it's about $15 a month, but complex to learn and operate. And click funnels is one of the major ones. It's about $99 a month starting off, and it's a bit more easier. Like you can get a funnel up and running in a day.
In 10 minutes.
In 10 minutes,
10 minutes.
So
if you know about it, if you know how to do it. And now I was a guy who had no idea about tech, man, before working in the Pro thing. And all my tech, I had a team specifically making my presentations as well. So being that guy, and now I'm able to make websites, create automations, right? It's not a very long journey. So a person who's thinking that, oh my God, it's very tough, I don't think I can learn this skill. We're all in the pandemic, it's lockdown in most of the states, right? So I think this is the best time to actually dive deep on internet marketing. And if you really want to dive deep in internet marketing, and if you want to be a coach, that is, I would suggest this book called Export Secrets by Russell Brunson.
Oh fuck, right? That's my favorite book as well.
This will give you a good idea. This will give you a good idea about what you need to do, and how to create your funnel, and what kind of funnels are there. It might be overwhelming to read it like the first book, right, for internet marketing, but it'll give you a really good idea. And then you have YouTube, you have different courses as well. So internet marketing, definite, and plus brands, right? So I'll tell you a quick story. So my brother is actually into the clothing business, right? And during the lockdown, obviously all malls were shut down, so his sale was gone completely. And now his sale is gone, but he has expenses of I think around 10 to 15 lakhs, because he has big stores in big malls, right? And he has employees. So he has a factory as well where he's manufacturing the clothes. Now, what happened is he was hopeless. right? And within 2 months, man, I'm not even kidding. So I'm really jealous of it too. Like I tell him, man, it's pretty. I'm pretty jealous. Within 2 months, he fixed up his website. Right, he learned internet marketing. He fixed up his website, and it's a real story, man. He's earning about 12 to 13 lakhs in sales, right? From the second month, from the first month, I think it was 4 and 5, something like that.
Yeah.
From the second month, it's about 10 to 13, and he's trying to scale it to 20 to 25, and now he's able to take the expenses for his business. You know, he's able to pay his employees, right? Most of the people are fired employees, man, and he has still paid all of his labor as well to just stay in Delhi, right?
Yeah.
And that's actually a big thing in this point of time, you know, and that's all possible because of internet marketing, and the amount of time it took was 2 to 3 months. So people who have beliefs like, okay, maybe I'll start it when I'm 30, maybe I'll start it when I'll quit my job, man, you're wasting a lot of time. So start it as soon as you can.
Yeah, man, like you brought up a very important a thing that concerns me. I think the future is digital, and it's so easy to create and distribute products, even digital products in the modern age, and people are still stuck with traditional ways of selling. So
Not for long.
Corona actually would be, I think, an opportunity for people to learn new skills about how to figure out to sell online, and if you can do that. And I don't see the internet going away soon, so it will be there. So if that skill can be mastered, amazing.
What I believe is, if you can get your own lead through the internet, right? You can get your own lead, you can convert that lead, and through your own self, you're not taking any third-party help, right? At that time, you can sustain yourself in any position, man. Like in the pandemic, not the pandemic. Now I know a lot of people lost jobs, so you know they must be really stressed. Okay, what do I do about my finances? And this is the time you should focus on internet marketing, because if you can get a lead, you can convert that lead, right, by yourself, the whole process. You can survive any economic depression. You can do anything, man. So
absolutely. And Russell Brunson talks about it in his book. So every lead in his list is worth $1 per month to him. So if you have 1,000 person email list, that's $1,000, and that's a passive income. You don't need to do much about it once you set it up. So that's an amazing way to look at it.
Setting it up takes about 6 months, man. 6 to 8 months. It will take time. Setting up the whole processes. You know, if you want to do quality work, I would say, it takes time.
For sure. But once you put in the initial work, then it's all gravy.
Automations. I'm telling you, man, this is the easiest. I wouldn't say easiest. It was definitely stressful in some certain times, right? But this is one of the easiest businesses that one can do enjoy the freedom in their lives, travel the world, right? This is one of the easiest business because it runs on automations, right? So you can automate 6 months and you can travel the world, and then you come back. You still have, your income coming in, right? So that is one thing why I chose this business, is because it's a lot of freedom that you get yourself and for your family, and if you want to spend time with your spouse, with your friends, family, whatever, right?
Absolutely, so true and so important. So Arunav, can we talk about a little bit about the bro thing? So I know it's not only a dating company; it's a holistic self-improvement sort of a thing, right? Like where you teach fashion, mindset, confidence, and a plethora of other things to men. It's not like maybe even how to improve your finances, improve your career, and we obviously touched upon such things like internet marketing and things like that.
Definitely. So basically, I'll tell you about the bro thing. So when we started the bro thing, we had this idea of helping people, helping men mostly, in different areas of their lives, right? Like freedom businesses, plus like fashion, grooming, and upgrade their dating life, their networking, their social networks, and all that. And right now we have services which includes the mentorship program, which is a 3 months course. So in that course, it's mostly it's a holistic course. We teach about fashion, we teach about status, we teach about how to get good with women, we teach about body language reading, we teach. It's a holistic course basically. And then we have live programs, which is the most intense program, right? It's a 3-day program, and so we basically have one-on-one clients as well. And the one-on-one client is a bit more premier. It depends on what the client needs. And based on that, we charge them. And apart from that, we have 3:1 programs where 3 clients and one instructor is there. And in the live training, basically, it's our instructors or me. People go in the field and we teach them about how to be an effective communicator, right? How to be more engaging when you're talking to people, and how to convey authority through your personality, how to develop your personality, right? And all of that we teach in the live training programs. And the whole program is recorded in a way. So once the whole program is done, on the third day we sit with the client, we tell him what is he doing wrong in an interaction, because there are certain things that even we can miss with the naked eye, right?
Yeah.
So the program is recorded, and I firmly believe that we're the only firm which is following an international structure for our boot camps, right? For the international set structure, where people charge $4,000, $3,000. And in India, we're the only firm who's actually following that structure of recording the clients, showing them the things, the issues, giving them a plan of what to do after the program ends, right? Because after the program ends, it's really important to build that social momentum and keep going. If you don't, it's going to be a waste.
Absolutely. Coaching is important, but it's also important that you make the changes that the coach suggested you. If you are not putting in the work, if you're not practicing, you'll stay the same, because the urge to stay the same is impossibly big, I guess.
True, man. That's true.
Okay. So I think I wanted to add an entertaining section to my podcast, which is sort of a rapid fire, because it's mostly dense content, very serious stuff. So I want to make the last bit a bit entertaining. So I'll ask you about 5-6 questions, and try to answer them as fast as you can. The first thing that pops to your mind.
All right, man. I'll do my best.
Okay. So your favorite movie?
Godfather 2.
Your favorite movie character?
Okay, maybe Godfather 2, man. Marlon Brando. That's it.
Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
Your favorite holiday destination?
Europe, definitely. Croatia.
Awesome. Top 3 books?
Okay, so the first one is Repeatlessness by Dr. Joe Marcella. The second one is about deductive reasoning. It's how to think like Sherlock. Mastermind, how to think like Sherlock.
Okay.
And third one is about monographs. It's Monographs by Ben Cardell. Yeah, so the third book is basically on reading people.
All right, awesome. The person you look up to the most, your most important mentor?
My brother, man.
Wow, awesome. Something that you value the most in your life currently?
Relationship with my family.
Okay. And this is the last one, and probably the deepest one. When you are no longer there, when you have passed on, how do you want people to remember you?
I mean, a person who showed people a new path that they can follow and improve their lives. Inspiring, definitely. And yeah, man, everyone wants to leave behind a legacy, right?
Yeah.
That's sort of the case. So yeah, definitely, I would want to be remembered in good terms. Like person who could show the way and show a new path. Improve their dating lives, and not only dating, man. Like I have bigger plans. After a few years as well. So this is for now, and then later I would definitely want to shift to different aspects.
Awesome. So for all the people that are listening into the podcast, do you have a call to action?
Yeah, definitely.
One thing they want. Yeah.
So definitely, if you would like to get more educated about the art of cold approach pickup, I would suggest you check out our YouTube channel, where we give out informational content, about how to, and informational and also hidden camera interactions, where you can see, it working in front of you and how we do it personally. And then if you want to join the community, I would recommend to join the Facebook group. We have around 1,000 people who are dedicated about self-help and improving their dating life, all from the country, right? Some out of the country as well. And join the society, join our community, and it would be, really helpful for you to improve your dating life if you really want to take action.
Sure. So what I'll do is I'll link your YouTube channel and also your website in the description for this episode, so people can reach out to you.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Arunav, I think it's been a value-packed episode, man. It's almost 1 hour, and I thoroughly enjoyed talking to you. There's lots of gold nuggets of information about self-improvement, about marketing and dating, like all throughout the episode. So I think it would be a very valuable episode. Thank you so much for your time, buddy.
All right. Thank you, man. Thank you. Really nice talking to you, and thank you for having me here.
Absolutely. Looking forward to having you again.
Sure, man. Thank you. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye. Listen, thanks so much for listening to the episode. I really appreciate it. Now, if you think you have got any value out of this episode, please make sure to engage with the content. My podcast is available on all of the platforms like Spotify, like Apple Podcast, Google Podcasts, Breaker, and it's also even available on YouTube. So if you got some value out of this content, please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment, or please download and share it with someone who would get value out of this. That's all I ask. Thank you so much.